that's it. At this point in time, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our president and CEO, Mr. David Temko.
What's up, C2? How are we doing this morning? Awesome. Rain or shine, we show up, right? Awesome. Well, building is in our DNA. From the beginning of time, since we were cave people, we had tools and we built shelters that evolved into civilizations, building monuments, and ultimately industrial revolutionaries and architects building skyscrapers. Today, we're going to talk about how to build your origination business to scale, because times are changing and we need to make sure as volume comes our way, we know how to accommodate it and continue to deliver excellent service. So before we do that, I want to touch on last year a little bit. Last year was a great year. All considering, rates can stay pretty flat, but you can see where the 10-year was and the spike after September. We saw a small dip in September. Our numbers that we have at corporate show about 30 days after when files come in, so we're a little bit less reactive in terms of how reactive you are. As soon as rates drop, 10-year treasuries drop, you're calling your clients and they're calling you because there's plenty of opportunity, whether it's a refi or people are buying in the market. So we're very sensitive to the 10-year, and I think great things are coming this year too, but I'll get into that. So what did that last year amount to? We're all considering we had 38% increase in loan units and 47% increase in volume. And that's a testament to your commitment and staying in the business. And I hear a round of applause for all of you. And that was through just about 8,000 homeowners that you touched to make sure that they were in the best financial position to reach the American dream. So when thinking about this theme, a show came to mind that I liked. It was called The Men Who Built America. The Vanderbilts, the JP Morgans, the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, and I looked up what were the commonalities that they all shared. And they were manpower, materials, and sophistication. All those components allowed them to achieve what they did for America and how we, revolutionized the country. So every lasting structure relies on those three components, and we're going to get into each one and how it relates to you. So first, manpower. That really starts with you. You are all entrepreneurial spirited loan officers that are here to originate business and serve your clients. So it's up to you. It's your vision and wherever you want to take it. And you have your goals, and then you build your team. What does that dream team look like? Do they align with your goals, and are you pushing each other to hit them? And then thirdly is your partners. You may be on the front lines every day, but you have 9,000 people in some of our companies that we work with that have an assembly line, just like Ford had, to that have your back to make sure your loan gets through to deliver the experience that you want to for your clients. So it's pretty powerful. You're in the front, you've got your team, and you have so many people behind you to support, and one of which is C2. I believe the material component is how we build with quality, and it starts with a great foundation. C2, we've been around for almost 36 years in terms of the business that we have started in '89 when my dad and his partner Fred got into the business. And what that led to is deep relationships with our lenders and ultimately driving the best products, pricing, and terms that you have to deliver. Those are materials that you're going to know about. You're going to call on the best AEs to help you sell those or get a loan through that might be difficult. They might not look to someone that's, a one-time, a small shop. When you're at C2, you have the power of the masses, and, people want to help you, and they want to give you the best lending products possible. Marketing and branding. Perry's really built it up. We rebranded the company. The brand is extremely strong, and Perry has been a driving force in helping marketing for you to have the materials to reach those clients, whether they're in your market or in the 40 states that we've grown to. I think a lot of that has to do with an affordability factor. It's pretty expensive to be where we're at right now, and with mobility from working remote and those options, I'm sure you've had a lot of clients that you started working with here in California that moved to different states, or just opportunities, to do more lending in different states. I love seeing great producers, excel in new states that we're in, and as we get into new states, we kind of plant a flag and bring something great on as an ambassador, and we grow from there. So it's really, really cool how organic the growth of C2 has gone, being a leading mortgage broker, started in San Diego, and one day we'll be in all 50 states. All right. But I think it comes down to a customer experience, the service that you provide. And if you deliver great service, regardless of where rates are or whatever it is that's, impeding in your business, if you continue to deliver great service through your work, your manpower, your team, the materials you have, you will continue to grow business. And without great materials, without quality service, it's difficult to build something that lasts. So we at C2, obviously, we're a mortgage company. We predominantly focused in Ford mortgage, but that's evolved to meet the needs that you have and your customers that you grow with. So we've got, a commercial division that Brandon will get up and talk to you more about. That's a great opportunity to do a lot more for your clients. Reverse, as you grow with your clients, they may be getting to a later age where reverse mortgage might be something that could work for them, or they have a family member that could take advantage of it as well. And residential sales. There's really 3 reasons you're giving loan office or borrowers loans. They have a great job with a W-2, they have a business that gives them good income, or they have income properties that generate passive income for that support their lifestyle. Well, sure, you might hit the hammer on the head and deliver a residential loan, but there's a lot more opportunity to dig under the hood and be more of a full financial and real estate resource for them. If you see an 1120S, that's an opportunity to say, hey, how's your business going? Are you renting? Is your lease coming due? Are you looking to buy a building? There's SBA financing that you can get up to 100% to finance a building. There's a lot of times that, landlords could be jerking them around with a new lease that's at market and jumping things up. It's a lot of opportunity to have greater questions that allow you to be, just a greater resource and more of, a consultant to your clients. And then we've developed C2 Funding. It's a new channel that kind of supports folks that are coming from the retail side of things that want to be in the broker model, and it gives them the best of both worlds. All of you are very well acclimated in the broker side, but this is certainly something that you may be interested in, and it's a channel where you kind of pick your margin and you build out the loan. And there was a lot of requests for different comps for purchases and refis, and that would have impacted the company all across all states. And having the mini-core model allows a loan officer to pick their comp and build it out differently for a purchase or for a refi. So it's certainly something that could fit your model, and something that if you're interested in, you can reach out to myself or Eva. We kind of spearhead that, or actually the recruiter, Jay or Brad. They know a lot about that as well. So if there's any interest in that, I'm sure we can share more with you, and it may or may not be a fit. If you have friends in retail that are kind of held back from going the broker route, this could be a good happy medium for them as well. So I mentioned the divisions. Well, there are specialists in every single one of those divisions. There's specialists that do loans in a lot of states that you might not be in. We used to have this acronym called IRP, IRP. We don't really like it, but Andrea wants to put B in front of it. But really, we're like, it's refer a deal. Why don't we just call it RAD? So we have a new button in the portal. It's the RAD button. If you have an opportunity for a commercial loan, a residential deal in a state that you're not in, or a reverse mortgage, you go to the portal, you can click RAD, and it'll take you to the site, where you can actually refer a deal and receive compensation that's fully compliant. So the last of those 3 pillars is sophistication. And I think this really pulls it all together in a way that, really makes you special and allows your business to grow. And that's really where, it backs into your vision, you build it out with strategy, and then you have technology backfill that. You may know back in the day when my family got in the business, this is when, my dad was taking loans on carbon copy paper. Is anybody around doing that back then? Maybe? A few? Scott in the back, he does reverse now. So, but you're throwing out a 1003 on carbon copy, you're splitting it 3 ways, and you're putting it into 3 different folders, and you're hoping it gets to the right place. Well, he basically was into technology. It was Excel at the time, and he basically took the 1003, put all that information in Excel with different sheets, and it all, went through and flowed through, and that was kind of the technology that he used to improve his business. And that was kind of the genesis of how he grew the high-split mortgage brokerage company that we are today. That was a long time ago. That was probably in the early 90s. And nowadays we have computer applications, we have CRMs that now support your speed, your growth, and where you want to take your business. And the future, well, I'll get into the future, but a lot of it's social media, automation, and AI. We can't go a day without, hearing AI and how that's impacting our market. So I think it really comes down to asking yourself, are you duplicating your efforts? Like, is there things that you're doing that could be automated? And think about that as you go through your business and as you think about things today, because there's certainly technology out there that can help you automate, that can help you compound growth as volume increases, so you can continue to deliver that top-notch service, whether it's 3 loans a month, 5 loans a month, 30 or 50 loans a month. It's all about building to scale, and that's what we're going to do here today. So I'm the first to admit, I was like in the dark ages on AI. I heard all about it. I didn't know where to start, and I was at a meeting, and a gentleman presented and just kind of gave some tools that I found, some applications that he was using on the personal side and the professional side. And I just was like, you know what, I'm going to try one out. And I'm sure you may or may not be familiar with ChatGPT, which is from OpenAI. It's kind of the Swiss Army knife of AI. But at the end of the day, you have to prompt it. It'll give you some information, and then you figure out how to execute. I think there's a lot of opportunity in AI, whether it's content creation, presentation tools, automation, like I mentioned. Sure, you could have a CRM and an LOS, but it doesn't communicate. There's no API. Well, there's something like Zapier, which pulls it all together and allows your flow to be synergistic with, text messages that go up. How many of you here send text messages to your clients with different changes in the process? Okay, a few. Amazing. Well, that's great. I think that's an opportunity for you guys and gals to, deliver where things are currently at in the process while you're still focused on origination and generating new business. There's a lot of different things coming at us from a communication standpoint. I know you probably get leads maybe from Facebook, from Google Ads, all kinds of different things that come and communicate you in different ways. Well, Beeper will unify all that stuff. There's just a lot of different AI components that you should, try out. Maybe build it into your budget. Maybe go, hey, what can I do? What can I look into? What can I try out? There's a lot of free trials in these things, and give it a go. If it works out, maybe subscribe for the monthly, and if it doesn't, then you can cut it off. The Google CEO said, AI is the most profound technology humanity will ever develop. He went on to say it's more powerful than fire, electricity, and even the internet. So I think we're just getting started with it. You're going to see a lot of automation. You're going to things move a lot faster. You're going to be able to be a lot more swift on the front end. But I will say, I've never referred a deal to AI. So don't worry too much about you losing your seat. If I have an opportunity, somebody that needs a loan, I didn't say, hey, check out this AI bot or go to this website. I sent them to somebody I know. I send them to somebody that I know is an absolute specialist, and that's you. They're sending deals to you because you specialize in exactly what you do, and you're the best at it. And that's going to continue. So now it's 2025. We've talked about where we were, 3 pillars of how to grow and scale, and where we're at now. There's a lot happening in the market, with tariffs and stocks getting knocked down. It really hasn't impacted the bond market quite yet. Obviously, we track towards with the 10-year treasury, but I do anticipate things to come down and us to be in a really good position, which is exactly why I want you to think about, the service that you deliver, the 3 people, the 5 people that you're working with this month. What happens if it's going to be 25 or 30 next? Are you ready? Can you continue to deliver that exceptional service? So the path forward, is doubling down on manpower. If a realtor walked into your office and said, hey, I want you to start working with my team, we've got 27 escrows open, are you going to be able to deliver that service that you're doing for the 3 that you have? I mean, if you 10x'd your business right now, can you even accommodate that? I hear sometimes people say, hey, there's just not enough business in the market. Well, okay, great. What happens if it shows up at your door tomorrow? Are you going to be ready? So, and I think you are, because, well, 75% of the loan officers that were in this business in 2022 are not here. And so that's a testament to all you. I'd like to hear a round of applause to everybody that's here. So you have the manpower, you have the materials, you have the sophistication, and I think there's every day is a school day. There's always opportunity to learn and grow, and I think we're going to hear great ways to do that from our top, producers that are going to be on the panel today. We've got Todd Duncan to talk today. He's going to be, give some great messaging and some takeaways. So I think today we constantly build for our borrowers. We build for their dreams, that American dream, that American gift of homeownership. So do that with intention. Focus on creating a lasting impact for families. I know you all do that, and that's why we're here. And you scale with purpose. It's an opportunity for you to continue to deliver that experience, that service, so your clients continue to come back and create something that's lasting. Now, I mentioned we were in this business from back in '89. When I think about building, I think about the skyscrapers. And we're here to build our 36th level of the skyscraper. So I'm excited to do that with you all today. Let's make it a great day, and let's build something extraordinary. Thank you.